Hi, my name is Kate Crabb, and this is my personal educational philosophy. To me, education is an extremely vital part of children's lives, and teachers play a very impacting role. As a future educator, I wish to ensure that each child in my classroom feels important, valued, and cherished.
Jean Piaget's philosophy states that the teacher is seen as a facilitator and arranges the environment appropriate for all levels of all children.
I would like to strive to adopt this philosophy as it takes a very post-structural approach to teaching, rather than the traditional lessons which assume the knowledge and potential levels of all children. I hope to create an equal environment that allows students to become the person they want to be.
This takes on a similar view to Paulo Freire when he states, "What the educator does is to make it possible for the students to become themselves."
In my classroom, I also want students to feel comfortable with themselves, and I hope for respect between my students and myself, and that my students respect each other. I will also strive to create an inclusive classroom with a diverse curriculum, which caters for a range of learners.
Through my educational philosophy, I hope to have a student-centered pedagogy, which creates new and transformative meanings to teaching and learning. There are many aspects which I will need to consider as a future educator to ensure all students in my classroom feel welcomed, comfortable, and supported in their growth and development. In my classroom, I will reject and think critically about tokenism, mythical norms, sexism, racism, and discrimination in order to create transformation rather than reproduction. This will ensure that my classroom is welcoming for all students and creates a safe learning environment. In regards to the curriculum, I will not plan lessons around the assumption that all children are homogeneous, at the same academic level, and of the same socio-economic status and class. Instead, I will ensure that my lessons cater for diverse learners in all learning styles to ensure all students reach their full potential. As a future educator, I will strive to incorporate not just traditional texts, but also transformative, into my lessons. This will ensure the curriculum is not just about restrictive and narrow texts, but also with those which show different perspectives on socioeconomics, gender, and cultures. As each child is heterogeneous, these diverse texts will allow the opportunity for students to feel a sense of inclusiveness.
To me, being a teacher is not just about the learning opportunities you provide to students, but also about building strong, trusting relationships with both students and their families or caregivers. I plan to encourage the families of my students to join in on classroom activities and to attend meetings to gain a personal relationship, which will allow for a meaningful conversation. This relationship allows the parents or caregivers to have a deeper understanding of the level that the student is at, and for us as educators to have insight into the backgrounds that our students come from.
These relationships also allow students to be comfortable with what they bring in their virtual backpack, and relates to Nell Nodding's philosophy, as she encourages students and teachers to gain trust. I also wish to allow students to form their own self-identity. I believe the primary years are crucial for a child to decide on the person they want to be, and what they are or are not interested in.
I hope to give my students a variety of choice in lessons and classroom activities to allow for the construction of their self-identity. Through the use of transformative texts and the rejection of discrimination, children will have the opportunity to create their self-identity and have an understanding of the person they truly are. It is through these many philosophers and through my own experiences that I have formed my own educational philosophy. It is up to us as educators to understand that each child is unique and needs a caring and comfortable atmosphere to grow emotionally, intellectually, physically, and socially.
I believe each educator is different and has their own approach to teaching. In his novel, The Courage to Teach, Parker J. Palmer has a quote which closely relates to this belief. "Good teaching cannot be reduced to technique. Good teaching comes from the identity and integrity of the teacher."